Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you tuning in once again. So we are on part 2 of our paint series for the 85 Olds 442/FE3-X, the Darth Vader cart, whatever they call it. That one. I got the box right here. Let's go this route. This guy here. So like I say, we've been painting this. I'm painting this for JT over at Need My Garage Time. Go check out his channel. And like I say, we got it all painted in the first video, so if you haven't checked that video, go check that one out. And this video, we're going to put the bottom color on, and then we're going to decal it and clear it and finalize it. So other than that, let's take you over to the bench, and let's make this thing look pretty. Okay guys, bench side. So this baby is all cleaned up, ready to go. I wet sanded this, you've seen in the last video, so you can see it looks pretty nice. She looks pretty good. So I wanted to wet sand this first before I did the other color. And the main reason for that is because if I would have wet sanded this down and ended up cutting through one of these lines and got the black showing, I would have had to respray it because this is our top color. So that was the main reason we went ahead and did that now. That way, like I said, just in case I would have hit that. Yeah, but those panel lines, that looks so much nicer with those cut deeper. You can just see the look on that, just makes them pop. So it looks really nice. Say the hood, we're all set, everybody's good to go. So we're gonna go through and get this other part done and make this thing go. So she's looking pretty nice. So at this point, we're gonna do is tape this up. We're gonna paint that other color on there, and we'll see how she turns out from that point. So we are gonna start by looking at the instructions because I don't remember how far we have to go. Okay, so we're doing the stock version. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mask this off so it looks to be at the bottom of this in the front. That's what it looks like. So we're basically below the bumper line. So basically just below that bumper belt line, we should be good to go. And other than that, yeah, so we just gotta shoot that quick, mask this off, and we should be good to go. Other than that, we'll get some decals on it. The only one I'm going to have to do, because I'm not assembling the kit, we're going to have to do is put the bumper nose kind of close to where it needs to be and get the decal cut for the front. We're going to have to cut that so we can remove the bumper, because I believe the bumper needs to be off on this kit to install it onto the body, because this is a tight fit. I know that. So other than that, we'll get it painted, and then we're going to go back through and we're going to decal it, put all the decals on it, and we're going to put these stripes all on it, make it look cool, and then we're going to clear it. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to see how she turns out from there. So we're going to get this started, and yeah. So what we're going to do is first just run a nice thing of masking down on this. So I like to start with a medium masking tape first. This is 6, I think. Nope, this is 10. Wow, it looks so deceiving. So what we're going to do is just a nice straight all the way across. One line should do the job. And steadiness is the name of the game here. So we need to stay below this line here. But it's actually above. So we need to follow that body line. So what we're going to do is just get this setting in here. We'll come back and adjust it as need be. It's looking pretty good. Give it the old down the side eyeball look, because we don't want it all kitty-wampy in the end. So the way they have this body line, I'm gonna have to follow this along right to the edge of that to make that look correct, because if I try to go from here and dip it down, it's not gonna look right. The front's the same way. You can see that line's in the middle of it, so we're just gonna continue that. So I might do in this one, we're gonna take this and just cut this, and we can utilize this taper here. There we go. Nice paint line. Fold that around, and then we'll run that into the bumper like so. Okay, so there's one side. Now we'll get this other side done. We'll just continue, we'll flip it over, and we'll do the rest of it. So let me get that done quick, and I'll bring you guys back. Okay, so we got the other side drawn apart, so we're going to cut this again. Just cut it in the middle. That way we can fold this over. That gives us our line on the edge. And we know everything's nice and straight. Like so. Like I said, it gives you your line for in here. So now this here needs to stay the color of the car. I've got looking at it. This is body color, because when you paint the bumper is going to stay gray also. So we're just going to paint the bottom of this down here. That's it. So this shouldn't be too bad. We're just going to mask the bottom of that bumper off. We're going to call it good. So in order to do this, we got a couple ways. We could bare metal foil it for one. That would look pretty good. Other than that, I'm going to put just some more Tamiya on it, and we're just going to cut it. So what we're going to do is burnish it down real good and just cut it with a knife, and that should do the job as well. There, make sure we get it nice and burnished down good, because this Tamiya tape works really good, almost like foil, as long as you do it right. Here we have a nice clean edge, like so. Okay, that'll give us a nice edge there. Should spray out pretty good. We'll hit a little bit back here, same thing. This will be easier if we cut this. That'll give me a straight edge, so I can go here with it. I shouldn't have to really cut anything if I keep it straight. Might take a few tries, might take a few applications. We're close. Let me hit one more time here. I may cut that because I don't think I'm all the way down. Plus they give a little cleaner look anyways. Remember, you don't ever want to use anything sharp, just something like a toothpick, so don't scrape the paint too much. We'll flip her over, do the same thing here. Pretty good, pretty good. And we'll do the front, and we're ready to just mask the whole thing off. I'm going to take some of the wider stuff. We got some 18mm here. We're just going to lace the rest of the car with it. A little wasteful, probably, but I'm going to have to do it to make it. Okay, what I'm going to do is get this taped up, and once I get this taped, I'll bring you back. We'll do these other parts here, so please hold. Okay guys, so I went ahead and taped up the back bumper, getting ahead of the game. So that's what we're doing. We're just taping that side there up. So what you got to do when you're doing this, you got to remember, because that line goes over and around, you want to overhang that a little bit. And I just took my Q-tip and just kind of drew it down, and it pulled it down pretty good. So we got the car taped up, so it's looking pretty good. Should be good to go there. I like to make sure I put tape on the inside of the windows, just to make sure nothing comes back and around. So we should be looking pretty good there. And just before I go to spray, I'll re-burnish this down just to make sure everything's sticking good. So last piece we got to do is just the front nose. So it'll be basically same thing. I'm just using my narrow, just one piece around to do the job. So like I say, I'm overhanging it just a little bit. Cool. And there we have it. All right, so like I said before, we're going to use the mica silver on this. LP72 lacquer. I don't even know how much is in here. Hopefully enough to do the job. Ooh, we're dangerously low. Well, the nice thing is we don't need a lot to do this. So hopefully... Oh, there's lots in there. It just looked like there wasn't. Okay, so we're going to do our standard 50-50 mix. So, like I said, we got our new cups here. Those work pretty nice. Grab a pipette. These new pips are like rock hard, so they're pretty tough stuff here. So I'm just going to measure out of the pipette. So I went to the 2 mark, because this should not take a lot to paint this, because this silver covers very, very well. So we're going to use our Tamiya thinner. We'll use this to mix it. Same as usual, going to run the Iwata airbrush, 0.3 needle, probably about 18 psi in this. I'll take you over the booth and let's spray this bad boy. Okay, well that's on the Susie Bake Oven for a minute. We're going to get our decals ready to go and get them placed. So my last model I did, I cut this silver off because I didn't want it to show up. I wasn't sure how it was going to look So I cut it off, but I think that mica silver, that's got to be pretty close. I mean, that's got to be real close to it. It looks like it. I may leave it on. I might try it and see. If I don't like it, I guess I'll take it off. So what I'll do is I'll maybe try the door first. Because if I have to retake that off to peel it back off, it'll be easy to do. But I think that mica silver will be okay. I don't know, but usually I just take and I cut that off. I might cut it off. I feel safer that way. I think I might just cut it. We're gonna cut it. Say what you want, but that's just me. We're just gonna nip it off there. Just make it go away. And then we're left with just the gold stripe. That way there it can go up against my the silver. And we're good there. What do you think? Trust it all the way across? I'm gonna say no. Is that? So big thing on this, you're going to cut these, make sure you keep that nice and solid, that ruler. You don't want to slip and end up cutting the decal. So just below the gold. Like so. I'm weird like that. I just like to make sure, because I don't know if that's going to match or not. I just don't want to see the line. I get it, make it handier. We can see they leave the overage for your fender. Well, we already painted that, so not worried about that part of it. So got those. And the last piece, we'll snip this off here. So, and now we're ready to install. Okay, that's more like it. All right, so I am going to go by instructions just to make sure we're good to go here. So we got 13 and 13 is the trunk lid and the top of the, is it 13 or am I 31? It's 13. I know a lot of guys are not decal fans. Like I mentioned, paint and decal are I love it. I love it. It is my thing. Okay, so 31, this is your fenders. So what we're going to do is put these on last so we can gauge them to the other stripe. So we got those guys. And then we're going to do is left and right. So left side of the car, the front bumpers, which is this here. So they tell you left and right. And like I said, I'm going to have to do is put the nose piece on just temporarily, just so I can put this on, because it's going to get cut about right there. Now I'll take it back off. Now when he assembles the model, hopefully everything lines up nice for him. Other than that, we're going to have all the other decals on here, so it should look pretty good. Should look pretty good. So we'll see how that turns out. So driver's side is 21. It's going to be this long guy here. That's this guy. We're going to leave 21 on there, just so I know. So we can get that out there, because I don't know if you guys ever done that before and you leave that on there, next thing you know, those black numbers are in your paint. You're thinking, what is that? And you think, oh my gosh, it's the number of the decal. Those will get you every time. So other than that, we really don't need nothing else on here for the moment. We are going to use the nothing. We're just going to put these on and that's it. The rest he can put on when he builds the car and kind of go from there. So this other sheet, we're going to wait and do this other half once we get it kind of situated. But we'll definitely put the back plate on. That looks cool. But we're going to put that on after the fact. We're not even going to like decal it on. We're just going to put it on thick. Actually, I might just leave it off, and if he decides he wants a different plate. No, we're going to put it on because it's from Michigan. You get a Michigan plate on it, JT. It's just the way it is. It's the way things go. Okay, so it should be nice and dry. Yeah, she's good. She's good. She's all good. For starters, I'm going to start with this and this guy. Just because, to give me a little warm up here. So we got left and right. So the back is 25. So we're going to apply some of our micro set on here, just to help out things. And I keep one of these little tester brushes. You can buy these at Hobby Lobby. They just got the little end on it. You don't have to get carried away with it. It's just an adhesion. Helps out with it. How good it works, I don't know. They say it works good, so we'll use it. Alright, so 25 goes on the back, so we're going to do this guy first. Alright, either way, here we go. So I leave them sit for a few minutes in there. Paper turns color, out it goes. I like to have things handy when I'm going doing this, so get my Q-tips sitting here. Things I need to do the job. That we're not digging for things when things go south. Sit around the paper here. So this has our numbers, we can wipe them off. There we go, ready to roll. So once a loosener, one more dip in the old water. In the water. Okay guys, so I got the bumper done. That turned out pretty cool. That looks really nice. That looked good all glossed up. So now we're going to put some microsol on it. Now I'm not going to clear this tonight because I want these decals to dry. And I know I hear a lot of guys talking that the decals curled on them and all that stuff. Well, a lot of times I believe that the decals are still probably wet a little bit. So I'm going to do is just take, you don't have to douse this with this stuff. Because probably we get put too much on this, so you'll start moving the decal around. And just let this set for the night, and we'll shoot it the next day. Okay guys, like I said, I've been forging ahead. And I wanted to do it off camera because things were getting ugly. So these are like not the funnest to put on. Trying to keep them straight. So I'll tell you a little story. I'll tell you a little, I can't believe this happened. Had the decals all cut out. Everything's on the table. I'd do a couple of them. Had Mr. Microsol sitting here and uh-oh. Yep. All over the decals on the one side. And I thought, oh my gosh. So now it's rush time. So trying to put these on, why this is on there, because this is making them like melt. And it was not pleasant. But we made it happen. They're not as straight as I'd like to see it. They still look pretty good. But I'm not 100% happy with them. But that's the best we're going to get. So temporary, because the only ones I have left is these here. This one's going to go here. And this one's going to go here. So I temporarily just kind of lightly tacked the bumper on. And I see it needs a little bit of machine work done here because it's not 100%. It doesn't want to sit 100% flush. But it'll do the job because the decal is going to overlap onto the front here just a little bit. So we just got to finish putting this one on, this one, and the other one that goes across the grill. So on my bad part, I didn't realize there's a little bit of a body mold line here, right here. And it goes back up, and you can see it in the decal a little bit, and I did not notice that, and I thought, So things to look out when you're building this kit. There's a mold line right there. I didn't see it. Yeah. And another line I didn't take out, and I probably should have, is this line right here. But it almost looks like it's part of the roof line, so I wasn't sure if that's supposed to be there or not. No, probably not, because this side's not really as dominant as this side. So it's another one I missed. So, JT, sorry about that, buddy. That should still look pretty good. You'd have to really do some fine detailing to look at it. So other than that, we're going to get these two stripes put on, the one on the bumper, and this should be ready for clear coat. I'm going to do the door handles. They give you the cool little decals for the handles, for the little chrome strips inserts, and we're going to let this dry for a bit. I did these last night, so these are nice and dry because I don't like putting decals on and painting it right away. I like to let the decals dry for a while. So that's I figure I'll get these put on now, and I'm going to let them set for a couple hours, and then we're going to come back and paint it. Just to make sure they're cured, because I think that's when I hear you guys say they lifted or they curled. Probably why a lot of those decals just weren't cured out yet. So we're going to do is put this on, get that all the way down, and then I'm going to end up cutting that, and then we're going to clear it with the bumper off and kind of go that route. So this should be the passenger side. Let the fun begin. Yeah, it wasn't a pleasant time when that microsol tipped over. I thought, oh my god. You gotta be kidding me right now. Not good times. Not cool, man. Not cool. That was like, oh my god, it was like rush time. Horrible. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna stop talking about it. So cutting off the silver off the bottom of these decals, it worked out really nice. See, looking at pictures, I've always seen there's a gap between the silver and the pinstripe. Which they did have a little gap in there, but I guess that mica silver would have been pretty close, but still I didn't want to see that line in there. So it's just easier just to get rid of it and be done with it. So we'll see how good this goes on. I should be able to lay it pretty close to where it's got to be just by starting one end and letting it fold down. Should be able to anyways. Never works like you want it to though. That's close enough. Alright, let's leave it like that. So I don't know what it is, but my fingers are like rough sandpaper, and if I lift my finger, it'll take the decal with it. Can't tell you how many times I pulled that decal off with my finger and like, what the heck? So yeah. So other than that, we're just going to work it in place a little bit. So it's just got to follow that body line. Easier said than done. Keeping that straight. And that's how we have it right there. A little water, please. Not a big deal. We'll straighten her out here in a second. So I like using this because it's got a rough, kind of a little bit of a rough tip to it, so it'll actually catch the decal and pull it. Get this up into place here a little better. This needs to come back this way. Line up with that mirror. Make sure it looks good to the other side. Like I say, overlaps that front just a little bit, not too much. So we need to pull it back this way a little bit more. Now I'm just applying water to this, just to kind of reactivate a little bit, so I can make it a little more movable for me. So I need to slide down just a little bit. So what'll happen, I'm trying to slide it and it'll just all of a sudden just go. So let's lift it just a little bit, so I'm just going to pull it down. Just enough to get to the hole right there. Like so. Suck up a little water. And we're looking pretty good. Look down the body line, it looks pretty straight. Make sure it's on the line there, which it looks like it is. That's pretty good right there. Yep, we're going to leave that just like that. So what we're going to do is let that sit for a little bit. I'm going to let it dry just a little bit, and then we're going to come back and dap some of the water out, because if I just start moving it right now with a Q-tip, what's going to do, I'm going to end up pushing it a little bit, and it's going to end up doing this number all the way across. So sometimes it is nice to try to pull it, because it'll straighten that out for you, as long as you get it close. So that looks pretty good there. So once this cures good, I'm going to cut that, and then we can paint this with that. And if he can get it closer once he puts that together, then that should still made out pretty good. Alright, there's that side. So just finish this side up over here, and we should be good to go. Easy, Flippy. Easy. Just like down. Voila. Ooh, that looks pretty nice right there. Man, couldn't do that again. Just turning at different angles so I can see if it looks good. I think it looks good. Yep, we're gonna leave it. Wow, that worked out really good. That'll never happen again. Okay, so we're just gonna leave that like that. I might try to, now that it's been sitting for a little bit, I'll get some of this water off here. Ever so carefully. I just light pressure. So I don't want to move it. Alright, so while we're getting that situated, we're gonna take a little bit of this and just a light drip across our decal here. And now these are kind of dried out. So this stuff here, you don't have to keep working it back and forth. Just easy, basically just one and done across, and you're good to go. So we're gonna go across here a little bit. Put that down. Cap this up so I don't lose any of it again. We'll let that sit, and we'll come back in a little bit. We'll get her clear coated. Alright guys, we got it in the house all washed up. So you can wash right out those decals, not going to hurt it. So I'll get all this wiped off, and we'll get mixing some paint up and I'll bring you back. Alright guys, so we're going to do a little mix up. Obviously there are a couple cups here. So we're using MCW Clear. This is 1017E. And then we're using the clear hardener, which is required. And that is 1017EH. So we are going to be using the mr.color leveling thinner in this. So the mix ratio on this is pretty simple. You have 2 parts clear, 1 part hardener, 1 part thinner. Very simple. So to mix this, we're going to do, because I want an adequate amount to where I don't have to come back. So we're going to do 5 milliliters of clear. So we'll have 10 total. So that should be plain enough to get the job done. All right, we'll see where that gets us. Okay, we'll take you over to the paint booth and we'll get her shot. Alright guys, so this is the next day. I took this one off the skew, so it turned out pretty nice. Got a couple little things in there, we can sand them out. And we got our bumpers, it turned out pretty good. Gonna pick up everything but the bumper. So that gold stripe on there looks really cool. And we got our nose piece, it also looks really nice. So it turned out pretty nice. Like I say, put that little piece on there. Just cut that to take that back off. And the body. So it's pretty dry just overnight. That turned out pretty cool. I like that. Decals look pretty straight. Got a little bend in them, but man, those are hard to keep straight and narrow. So I thought that turned out pretty cool looking. So what I gotta do is I'll probably do a little polishing on it and sand a couple. I got a couple boo-boos in there. A couple boo-boos in it. But a couple little lint spots, but we'll get them cleaned up. Other than that, that turned out pretty cool. Yeah, so we'll let her set for a couple more days, or else throw the old dehydrator on it, and we'll get her tacked out on maybe the next video. I'm not sure yet. So, all right, guys, I'm probably gonna wrap this one up, and we'll do a polish and sand on another video. So we're gonna call this one good for now, and I appreciate you guys watching. Check out the channel, and we will see you guys on the next build. You guys have a good one, and thanks for watching.